Hello everyone and welcome back to Seduce Me, the Otome on Sam's route. Last time we left off, basically Diana started to mess things up, but I wanted to apologize for the lengthy delay in video uploads. I have been very busy with midterms, and then Hurricane Matthew flooded our school and the surrounding areas, so we were only let back into school last week. And everything is fine and dandy, but I might be slowing down the video upload schedule because I have a lot of work with school and stuff, but hopefully I'll be able to upload 1 or 2 videos a week. So, if you guys really want me to continue the series, please comment below and I will be sure to try and keep up with it. So thank you for your understanding, and I really am sorry that I took a bit of a hiatus for a bit. Anyway, so hopefully this episode will be about 30 minutes long. So I'm going to start my timer. After what seemed like hours, I finally woke up slightly refreshed. My body knew that if I slept any longer, I'd be up all night, which was not part of the plan for the day. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, letting a soft groan escape from my lips. In response, something beside my bed shuffled, causing me to look over. I didn't know what I was expecting. Beside me, sitting in a chair beside the bed, was Sam. Rousing himself up to see me awake, I smiled at him, seeing his slightly ruffled hair and tired eyes.
Oh, you're awake. How do you feel?
Oh, that's not what I meant. Better. I meant to preferences? Yeah. Let us turn that up a little bit. There we go. Sam nodded before he looked down at the bed, leaning over it to stare at the blanket.
I'm such an idiot. If I was stronger, you wouldn't be like this.
Sam, it's not your fault.
No, it's my fault. It's our fault. Look at you. You're in bed again, after us using our powers again, and you're a target again because of us. You never should have come.
I quickly reached over and put my finger on his lips, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear any more. Sam, it's okay. I wanted to help you out. I offered to let you stay. Nothing is your fault. I gently moved my hand and cupped Sam's cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want to hold guilt in his mind about the whole ordeal. Diana was desperate, and she'd hunt anyone for them. It wasn't his fault she was desperate enough to hunt them down. Sam looked at me, defeated by my hand, before he closed his eyes and let out a sigh. However, I grew curious. So, Sam, you're a noble? Sam opened his eyes to look at me. He didn't seem angry, but he had a coldness in his voice as he spoke.
I was a noble. I'm not a noble anymore.
Not anymore?
I was the 3rd son of the Demon Lord. My brothers and I lived together in the castle as nobility, but since James was the oldest, James became royalty and was heir to the throne. The whole situation became one gigantic, boring mess, so we all grouped together and left to come here. Once that happened, we surely lost the chance to ever get forgiveness.
Sorry for the yawning, it's a bit late. What was it like while you were there?
Like I said, one gigantic, boring mess. Eric, Matthew, and I were as replacements in case James fucked up. Since Eric was before me and since my dad was a dickbag, I wasn't ever likely to get the throne. So I spent my days lazying about and not giving 2 shits about anything. Not even my mom could control me.
Your mom?
Yeah, she's not like my asshole of a dad. She was actually caring and kind, but was a pushover.
Sounds like me. Sam let out a small laugh. I could tell he was getting nostalgic.
She always thought I could be more than I was. But my dad definitely made sure I knew my place. In response, I became the rebel son, hanging out with the commoner demons and such just to piss my dad off. I swear, I'm surprised he didn't kill me out of shame.
That's horrible. Sam stared at me as if I had slapped him. He then sighed and ruffled my hair a bit.
Don't even worry about it. You need rest. You don't need to know about the demon world.
But I want to know more about you. Sam stared at me once again as if I had slapped him. I couldn't tell whether I was pissing him off or intriguing him. He let his hand that was ruffling my hair fall down the strands of my hair, stopping at my cheek to cradle it. For a strong man, Sam knew how to be soft. Sam let out a sigh before unlinking his dog tag from his neck and putting it around mine.
I'm warning you, my past is boring.
Sam wrapped his fingers gingerly around the dog tag, and I watched as a green mist began to form around his hand and the dog tag. The green aura wrapped around the necklace until it snaked around my head, and I, before I knew it, was surrounded in green light. When the light had subsided, I was back in the main hall of the demon castle. I looked around, feeling unable to move, but I could practically see everything as clear as I had before.
Bring that back!
My head shot towards the sudden exclamation, where I saw Sam rush into the hall with quite a large basket of bread.
No chance in hell, creepo!
Sam then did what I only ever saw in TV shows or movies. He stomped his foot onto the ground, causing a large boulder to burst out from it before he kicked it towards the entrance he had come from. I could only stare as the boulder didn't demolish the door it was flying towards, but simply skidded to a stop, blocking the entrance.
That was easy.
Sam then turned into the hall, looking around as he walked towards the throne. He took a small roll of bread and stuffed it into his mouth, only able to cover half of it as he stared at the seat. I was surprised. Why did Sam steal bread? Why would he steal bread? He was a rebel, yes, but he was a noble. He wouldn't get in trouble for taking food, but he had a basket of bread. Sam chewed and swallowed the bread he started consuming and sighed.
Fucking asshole piece of shit parent.
At least you have your faults.
I turned to see another demon step out from behind a pillar towards Sam. Sam smirked at him and tossed him the basket of bread.
Think that's enough for you and your brother?
More than enough. This means a lot, man.
Don't mention it, Gaku.
Gaku smiled and held out a hand to Sam, who took it and shook it.
We owe you for this.
You don't owe me jack shit. Now get going before you get caught.
Goku's very similar. However, Gaku quickly got out a dog tag from his trench coat and held it out for Sam. Sam stared before reaching out and taking it.
What is this?
A gift. A human world trinket. I know you and your brothers have been interested in it. Maybe this might bring you closer to it.
Sam stared before looking down at the gift. It was the glimmering silver, almost enchanting Sam's gaze. As Sam looked back up, Gaku lifted off of the ground and flew out of an open window into the almost sickly purple sky.
The human world.
Sam looked back down at the trinket before wrapping it with green magic.
Like I can get any closer.
Sam tossed the trinket into the air, letting it vanish into an unknown oblivion. I smiled a bit at the sight, knowing the future of that point. What surprised me was a green orb slowly floating toward Sam, wrapped in a purple-like aura. Sam didn't even turn around, but spoke as if he knew.
What do you want, Mom?
Mom? How is that orb his mother? The orb simply floated in place as Sam turned to it with an almost angry glare.
Yes, I stole that bread and gave it to the commoner, all right? Don't judge me.
Once again, Sam was not responded to, at least not from what I heard. Sam clicked his teeth and crossed his arms, peeved.
Yeah, whatever.
The orb then floated over to Sam and lightly brushed his cheek before flying off, disappearing into the air. Sam sighed, rolling his shoulders.
I need to get out of here.
He looked like he had a lot on his mind, but his closed mouth wouldn't let him express it. However, none could question his irritation. Eventually, Sam stopped the magic, taking the dog tag off of me and holding it in his hand before looking to me.
What did I tell you? Boring.
You helped that demon get food.
I was a rebel breaking rules. We're not supposed to care for common demons. We're supposed to let them die out if they don't have the ability to take care of themselves.
Sam gritted his teeth and let out an aggravated sigh.
Whatever. I'm not there anymore. I'm here.
Sam.
Look, I'm sorry.
I stared, my mind going blank. What was he apologizing for? Sam stared down at the blankets again.
You've done a lot for me and my brothers. Sheltering us, letting us continue to live here. It may not seem like much, but for us, it means everything. Especially after everything that's happened to you with that hellspawn Malix and Diana being crazy. I don't think we'll ever be able to repay you for what you've done.
I watched in speechless silence as Sam lifted his head, his eyes full of almost hopelessness.
Thank you.
Sam lowered his head and gently, almost as if it was fragile, placed his hand over my hand. I couldn't help but feel my heart squeeze within my chest at the sight. He truly cared. Sam let out a small sigh before looking at me, removing his hand from mine.
Now get some sleep. You still need rest. We'll wake you up when dinner is done.
Sam gently pressed me back down onto the bed, resolved in what had happened. I couldn't let him leave without doing something. I quickly pulled Sam down to me, lifted my head, and gently kissed him, softly laying a hand on his cheek to keep his face close. Sam stared in deep surprise before hesitantly kissing me back, caressing my cheek and slightly melting at the touch of our lips. A soft sigh escaped his lips before he slowly pulled away with a smile. He gently licked his lips, making me go red in the face at the simple gesture. He let out a satisfied sigh before running a hand through my hair.
Sleep, doofus.
And with that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me to rest as per request. I smiled to myself before relaxing into the mattress. I suddenly tensed up. I felt majorly uneasy. Something wasn't right. I felt it in my core. She must be here. The thought of her in the house infuriated me beyond belief. I had to make sure she wasn't here. I rolled out of bed and quickly left my room, wandering the halls and listening closely. She was a demon, but I was listening very intently. There was no way she would be able to sneak up on me. I know you're here. Where are you? I could feel myself growl. It wasn't a matter of fear that she'd taken away the boys anymore. Her very existence had lit a fire of rage within my gut, which only grew as each day went by. This feud was getting on my nerves, and I knew it would not end well for one of us. I wasn't going to lose to that demon bitch.
What the fuck do you want?
My heart stopped. Diana was with Sam. My mind flew into slow motion, playing fake images of Diana trying to seduce Sam in my head to further fan the angry flame inside of me. I instinctively followed Sam's voice. I was approaching the grand lobby. I hid myself behind the corner of the hall, peeking into the space and down at the scene. I peeked inside to see Sam by the foot of the stairs with Diana sitting on the railing looking at him.
My, such a brute. Didn't your mother teach you how to treat a woman?
She isn't here, and frankly, you shouldn't be either.
I'm hurt. Wounded, truly.
Like I care, you crazy bitch.
I like her hair better in this one than the second
Pity.
game.
And here I thought I was going to offer you the chance to become something better than just a simple incubus.
What was Diana going on about? More than just an incubus? She was insane.
Like you got anything I care about.
How about becoming the next demon lord?
I froze. What did she mean, becoming the next demon lord? The boys weren't in the demon world anymore. They had no claim to the throne anymore. Sam stared at Diana, which made me worried.
You're bluffing.
Well, currently, I'm the contracted bride to the heir to the throne. Since the throne is open, it's available to any son of the demon lord's line. Think about it. You'll gain the throne, the land, and a bride to continue your lineage with. Doesn't that sound like a perfect life for an incubus like you?
I could feel myself gripping my fists tightly in anger. How dare this girl try to convince Sam to return to the demon world? He ran away from it. He didn't have to go back. He shouldn't have to go back. My mind began to wander, imagining him saying yes. He would leave and the brothers would follow to bring him back. They'd be trapped because Diana would make sure they could never leave. Sam would be the new demon king with Diana as his queen, and I'd lose him.
You must be crazier than I thought.
What? I felt surprise run down my body again. Did I hear Sam correctly? He denied her?
You dare deny!
Nope. All of a sudden, Sam's body disappeared as well as Diana's. I blinked and saw Sam grip Diana by the neck, pinning her body to the wall near the dining room archway. Her feet couldn't even touch the floor, and I felt myself unconsciously rub my neck at the sight.
For once in your life, shut your fucking mouth!
I could see Sam's muscles tense and flex at holding Diana, wanting to tense even harder to snap her neck.
You do not scare me. I could bring you to your knees and make you beg to return with me on a chain leash.
Then do it! I want to see you try to chain me.
Sam glared as Diana stared, almost in fear of him. I expected her to actually do it. However, after a small breath of a moment, Sam smirked.
Called it.
Sam then released Diana, letting her body fall to the floor. Diana gripped her neck, coughing for air as Sam stepped back, glaring at her.
You're out of power. You've been running without recharging, and now you're on your last life.
Shut up!
Diana glared and stood up, flipping her hair back to its almost unnaturally sexy style.
What's stopping me from taking your little human's energy?
You go anywhere near her again and I will rip you apart.
The human girl? You must be joking. A human like her can't possibly provide you what you need. She's a human. You're a demon.
I felt the urge to storm in and shut her mouth. I would give away my position, but I was growing extremely tired of Diana. Hold. I didn't want to step in at the wrong time. Sam could handle Diana. I trusted him enough to fight for me. I stood my ground and watched in silence.
Now, I'm giving you one chance to leave without losing a limb.
You really would do that to me? A woman?
I don't care what gender you are. You're annoying, and I will kill you if you piss me off anymore.
Impertinent, aren't you?
Diana sighed before crossing her arms and leaning on one hip.
This was a complete waste of my time. I should have just enthralled your little human girlfriend and made her jump off a cliff.
Sam looked at Diana, glaring daggers into her soul as she raised her arms up gently as if to block his attempts to scare her.
Though, I'm not surprised she hasn't come out of her little hiding spot to come and...
Diana then looked over in my direction, locking eyes with me. I froze in surprise. She knew I was there. Diana smirked as I stepped into the room and down the stairs.
Humans are such fleeting creatures. She can never fully and truly love a demon.
Diana then slid her gaze to Sam before sinking into the ground, the pentagram appearing around her feet.
Let me know when you figure that out, brute. I'll come running.
And with that, Diana vanished, leaving Sam and I alone in that room, left in silence. I finally let out the air I was unconsciously holding in my chest, relaxing from the ordeal. Sam stepped to me and held me gently, surprising me.
You alright?
I nodded in response, unable to speak so immediately after being surprised. Sam let out a sigh, relaxing in the embrace. I gently placed my hands around him, returning the embrace slightly. I wasn't sure what to do. All of this was spinning in my head in circles before I decided to simply look up at the man holding me. Sam pulled away slowly, looking into my eyes to reveal a deep love that haunted his green irises.
Alright, let's get you back to bed.
Sam then wrapped an arm around my shoulders and lowered his other arm underneath my knees. I easily held on to him as he lifted me up like a blushing bride and carried me out of the room towards my room. Sam was kind enough to know my mind and would not force the issue no matter what. He was too sweet and I didn't deserve his kindness. Sam gently lowered me to my bed before patting my head with a loving smile. I was beaming in happiness. As Sam turned to leave, I slowly sank into the covers, relaxing. The sounds of the footsteps echoed before I left, before finally I was alone. I rested my head against the pillows, enjoying the cool they provided as I closed my eyes. I'll be ready when I'm ready. Will it be too soon? Who knew? All I knew was at that moment that I made a choice I felt was right.
I will not leave here empty-handed.
I tried to open my eyes at the sound, but I felt my eyes remain shut. I instinctively wanted to move, but my body felt frozen. What was Diana doing? I felt my body lift up from my bed, leaving me to hover and quake in fear. I wanted to scream, but my voice was frozen as well. I felt Diana move to angle her face over mine. I wanted to move away, but at the same time I felt like I was blissfully melting in our gaze.
Well, if I can't return home with the boys, I might as well return home with the power to fight back.
Diana finally leaned in and kissed me. I tightened my closed eyes, feeling the need to bite her lips, but finding no muscles in my face listening to my mental commands. What did she do to me? I didn't want to enjoy it, but every single nerve in my body was flaring in excitement and pleasure as she kissed me. I felt my energy drain slowly but forcefully from my body. Was she using her magic to force energy out of my body? It seemed like forever, but finally Diana pulled away from a kiss with an audible lick of her lips. She lowered me back onto the patio and chuckled. For some reason, I could feel her presence. She felt stronger, more powerful. It was almost like looking at a new Diana. As I lowered back into bed, Diana chuckled at me. I grew even more fearful. Was she going to go for the boys now? To my surprise, her presence vanished, and I felt at ease. It was like an on and off switch Diana pulled on me. Was this normal? Hell no. She was a major nutjob. I relaxed slightly, trying to sleep again. Thankfully, I succeeded. The rest of the story can almost be passed over. With Diana gone, my life returned to normal with school and my friends, not remembering what had happened. It was as if magic never even appeared in my world. Sam cared for me, and we remained close to each other. It was sweet, like a simple fairy tale ending. He didn't overstep my boundaries, and I deeply appreciated it. Sam remained faithful to me, living with me and serving me like a servant. Of course, there were some complaints, but Sam felt the need to pay back my kindness. I needed the help around the house anyway. It was almost funny to think about a demon becoming a servant to a human girl. The others decided to leave of their own accord. They knew that my future would only need Sam at my side, so they each decided to start their own lives in the human world. Sam understood perfectly, wishing his brothers the best. I felt bad as well for being closer to Sam than the others, but they reassured me that I was okay and that they would remain nearby should I ever need them. I was happy for that. But what of my future? Well, it was kind of made for me. Before I graduated, James decided to step into the light of the Anderson Toy Company, and, with the help of his demon powers and leadership charisma, he managed to influence not only the entire board, but my father as well into letting him run for CEO. I was beyond shocked. How James managed to do all that was beyond me, but when the vote was called, James had taken over the company I was destined to have. He vowed to respect the wishes of the late CEO and help the company become an even grander company. For a demon, it was simple to make a company grand. My grandfather would have been proud to see how James helped it shine. With the CEO position filled, my father had no choice but to let me decide my future, which made me happy beyond compare. No longer would I have the future scaring me into a corner. I could choose my life on my own. That being said, I was still scared of where the future was going to take me. What did I want to do? Did I want to help James build the company? Did I want to venture off on my own? Sam reassured me that he would support me and help me through whatever I decided to do. I was grateful and would never forget that promise. I was happy, and nothing could shake me down from that happiness. One morning I woke up and took in all that had happened as if it were all a dream. The demons, the devils, the magic. It was all surreal to believe. It almost frightened me to think that it could have all been a dream. My fears vanished, however, as a knock appeared at my bedroom door. "Come in." The door opened to reveal Sam with a small tray of food for me. A vase with a green rose sat beside a hot plate of pancakes, eggs, bacon, decorating a breakfast beautifully.
Morning. Made breakfast.
I simply smiled. It wasn't a dream. I still had Sam. I still felt the magic in the air around me. I wasn't alone. Sam walked over and placed the tray on the bed across my legs.
Did you sleep well?
I did. I had a dream about everything that happened to us.
Oh? What do you remember?
Everything. How we met, how you cared for me, everything. It almost made me believe it was all a dream. Sam smiled at me and ruffled my hair a bit, making me giggle.
Well, this is a pretty good dream then, isn't it?
Sam gently kissed my head, making my heart flutter slightly. His devotion to me was beyond my imagination. That was my happily ever after. And that is that, so thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you have something to say, please leave a comment. And if you would like to see more, please subscribe. And I plan on doing James's route next, but if you would like to see someone else's route or a different route for the main character, please let me know in the comments, and I will be sure to try and get those endings. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all later.